Those troops are hated. Homeland Security hates their guts. Homeland Security knows that like a piece of military equipment or a howitzer cannon, they have to be spiked after they get out of the military. So they're injected and used as guinea pigs and nerve gassed, and they use uranium weapons, and they're filled with all the vaccines, and they're now having the announcements that their pension funds are going to be taken, that they were promised, and they got to get their own health care. And the VA hospitals are just rat-infested warrens. But all the supposed troop supporters, they never want to hear about that. They want the shallow, oh, I love the troops, I fly an American flag out front my house. When America was dead and gone a long time ago, overrun and taken over by the corporate Borg, using us as the engine for their world government. And if you want to save this country, because it's been heads above any other nation with its basic liberties, though those liberties were never really fully realized, it was the greatest idea, that Jeffersonian idea. I know that's a lot better than what the globalists are offering. Ancient tyranny amalgamated with high-tech systems of control. I know we're dealing with psychopaths. I know we're dealing with sadists. I know Homeland Security's running around taking over the media and trying to censor people. I know the world government's real because it's out in the open. I've got the basic survival instinct, not the courage. No, 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 not courage. Self-preservation. Sure, I could go along with this. I could have played ball with the system. I could get some little petty power position in this thing. A long time ago, I passed the point of no return over a decade ago. But in the end, I would be destroying myself and my family and my species. The only thing you can do is get educated on these issues, get informed on these issues, and get involved exposing corruption. And believe me, it's everywhere. The system has made the decision to go for broke. The system is now pulling out all the stops. And so they don't care if you know that they're getting ready and openly announcing that they're going to not just freeze Social Security, but start cutting it. What do you think the inflation is? That's a cut right there. That they are going after the group that if they can get away with it with that group, they can get away with any group. And that is telling troops, get your own insurance after you're out of the military. We're not going to give you health care, even though you signed the contract and were promised it. I mean, if they can get away with that, they can do anything, ladies and gentlemen. The globalists compete with each other over who can be the most cunning, the most ruthless, the most abusive, the most bloodthirsty. They enjoy the power. They enjoy the secret police. They enjoy the secret arrest. They enjoy the snatch and grab teams. They enjoy the psychopathic power. They are turning our paradigm from a liberty-based paradigm where you might not always get liberty and freedom, but at least that's honored, to a system where our heroes on scores of TV shows like 24 are torturing miscreants. None of us are safe. All of us are under this attack. I don't care if you're a cop, a school teacher, a bureaucrat, or a congressperson. These silly Democrat and Republican, fights that they have, two different management teams squabbling over the levers of power. But that's only one level of the power. Above them are the corporate puppet masters who are setting up a corporate tyranny, who do have a policy of scorched earth to dumb down our population, to destroy the engines of individual liberty and social cohesive strength. It is a scorched earth, ruthless policy. And in your gut, I'm telling the truth. Any of you got a soul left. But intellectually, it's all around you. You've got to have the courage to face it. And as I said, not even the courage, the self-preservation. Look, we all die individually. The reason I don't have fear of the New World Order is because I'm not worried about myself individually. My only fear is that they are successful in what they're doing. Hitler was only one bad son. That's like a tree, baby tree they cut down. That's all he was for the globalists.
Men, take control of your prostate health without the risk of nasty side effects with Prostate Secure. Early detection, regular prostate exams, and PSA tests are a must for men over 40. Listen, if you have symptoms of an enlarged prostate but don't want to take a drug with possible nasty side effects, or if you're over 40, then use Prostate Secure, a natural dietary supplement for men. Prostate Secure is a scientifically formulated blend of clinically significant amounts of natural ingredients. It brings together the most powerful plant sterols like beta-cytosterol and saw palmetto, along with antioxidants such as vitamin D3, resveratrol, and lycopene to support good prostate health, proper urinary flow, function, and more. Check out prostatesecure.com. Order online and save 10% with promo code SAVE10 or call 1-800-239-9432. That's 800-239-9432. Or visit prostatesecure.com. Take control of your prostate health naturally with Prostate Secure.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
Again, the Congressional Budget Office sounds the alarm. This time warns of Greek-style U.S. debt crises. You heard me right. The GAO is drawing a parallel between the U.S. economy, its debt, and the current Greek economic meltdown. With the debt-to-GDP chart climbing into unfamiliar territory, the growing budget deficit will rise to unsupportable levels. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. The Federal Debt and Risk of Financial Crises document the CBO has published is a must-read for every American, covering the risk of continued deficit spending coupled with an aging population and the rising interest rates spell economic disaster. It's imperative that you get a copy of this document and study it for yourself. Call me today at 800-686-2237 and I'll send you a free copy. Again, call 800-686-2237 and ask for your copy of the CBO document. Once again, you need to read this government report. Call 800-686-2237.
Do you want to get away from additives and preservatives in your food? Need alternatives to conventional food preparation? Do you want to save the fruits of your gardening labor? And are you looking for an excellent gift idea? Then check out the Excalibur Dehydrator. Dehydration is one of the healthiest, most cost-effective, and fun ways to feed yourself and your family. Make healthy snacks like fruit roll-ups and beef jerky. Store healthy food in case of an emergency with no added salts, fats, or preservatives. And save hundreds of dollars by drying it yourself with the Excalibur Dehydrator. The Excalibur Dehydrator comes with an industry-leading exclusive 10-year warranty. And when you order, you'll receive a free book filled with amazing, easy recipes. A $25 value free for a limited time. Just mention coupon code GCN. Learn more and order your Excalibur Dehydrator today at drying123.com. That's DRYING123.com. Drying123.com. Or call 1-800-875-4254. That's 1-800-875-4254. Season's greetings and health and wellness from Excalibur Dehydrator.
They railed against the crown. Another ragtag band.
Declaring independence.
Declaring independence.
It is so humiliating to be a slave. Don't you understand, when the tyrants get a tyranny in place, they get to have all the land, all the ideas, all the women, all the success. Everybody has to lick their boots. And they always create the same type of society. It's a giant grid, so they get to bully and control people. It's so cartoonish to watch an NFL football game where the whole thing is about worshiping wars and worshiping the military. When we don't even run our country anymore, we're fitting the bill for this private world government. And they hold up those troops up there and talk about how much they care about them when they hate their stinking guts, and the entire apparatus of government is pointed at the veterans. And that's on record. And I'll be on neocon talk shows, and I'll bring this up to them, and it's like they don't hear me. Or I'll bring up, you know, Al-Qaeda was created by our own government. You know it's protected. You know it's admitted Anwar al-Awlaki, supposedly the #1 under bin Laden, and he's being protected. And he's hanging out at the Pentagon secretly. Fox News. And those hosts don't attack me. They don't even respond. They move on to something else. They don't want to see it. Don't you get it? We've got a criminal cartel running our country and beginning to take over the world. And the UN was their own Pentagon creation. And they openly say once a world government's in place, there's nowhere to run. You know, if one state of 50 is oppressive or has higher taxes, people just run to the next. It's the same thing globally. If one nation has lower taxes and more freedom, you're going to move there. So they want global standards, global government, continuity of agenda, so you don't have a choice, so you have nowhere to run. And I know most of you understand this better than I do. But I think about the Stasi. I think about what went on in East Germany until 1989. And then I look at what our country's become, and the actual spying grid makes the Stasi, the greatest surveillance state ever, look tame in comparison. I mean, we know this government's out of control, and they know what the TSA is about, a big power grab to take over the states, to take over transportation, to stick their hands down your pants, to create no travel, no fly, no gun buy, no get credit list. They've announced all that, where to do anything, you've got to be on the government list authorizing it. I mean, that's worse than East Germany. It's stinking travel permits right out of East Germany. And people don't value freedom because they just take it for granted. The American people are in a trance. They're in a daze. Literally. And what's even worse is they smile with that brainwashed, slave, mesmerized grin of like, basically, it's the grin of like a bad child, and laugh at those of us that care like we're weak for caring. They think because they don't care and they're not involved that that's a strength. Ignorance is strength. That was one of the mottos in 1984. Eric Blair, George Orwell. He'd worked for British intelligence. He'd worked for the communists. He'd worked for the imperial police. And he wrote a book saying it's all controlled, both sides staged wars. The government was staging terror attacks in the book. 1948 it was written. Black helicopters are looking through your walls. Your television sets watch you. And now all the major video game makers have come out with face-scanning video games like Connect. They've come out with face-scanning video games with cameras that recognize your face and up to 10 people's different voices in the room. TiVo admits they're tracking what you watch. Google admits they're using the onboard cameras and microphones to watch you. Public schools all over the country come out and say, yeah, we're using cameras on laptops to watch you at home. I mean, it's just all out in the open now. This is 1984. And there's still wealth because there was liberty here. So I'm watching the wealth drain out, like watching a person bleed to death, watching their skin go from pink to ashen white. Or if they were black, watching their skin go from chestnut to almost a green color. I'm watching the blood just pour out of the body politic. I'm watching the big central banks just drinking it up like a bunch of vampire bats, little stunted devils, enjoying themselves, laughing at us. I watch those being fed on, drugged out of their minds on fluoride. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.